All right, guys, welcome back to Relegation Battle. This is mainly going to be our Euros predictions, but before that, let's just get this week's news out of the way. Tom, I'll come to you first because there's already been a lot of news with Spurs today. You guys have been linked with the old Roma manager. I say the one that's just been replaced by Mourinho, Paulo Fonseca, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, our whole fan base is either fuming or just absolutely just confused. I'm just so confused. He weren't in the running at all. But I believe this was so. We've just signed a new sporting director, Paratici, and this is his main target, or this is his choice. It's not definite, although people are saying it's 99% done. There are reports saying that Erik ten Hag is still in the running, but I don't really understand this appointment. I don't know much about him. I know he came from like the Portuguese league, I think. I did just see a stat not long ago that made me realise, okay, that's why Levy's gone for him, because he's like the complete opposite to Conte. At Roma, he had the net spend funds of like minus 21 million, something like that. So he's basically one of them managers who can deal with not having the greatest budget in the world and trying to make it work. And that's what obviously Levy's looking for right now. Honestly, I can't really tell you much about him because I don't know anything about him. I know he had a poor season with Roma. The Roma have been poor for ages. Apparently, he's meant to be a good coach. I've just got to put my trust in this Paratici, who I've heard is meant to be one of the best sporting directors in the world. So we just got. I'm happy. That's the only positive I could take out of this. The only positive I could take out of our window so far is that the managerial side has been a shambles from our behalf, but that appointment of sporting director was needed. It shows that Levy's allowing responsibility to someone who actually can deal with the footballing side, like Levy can deal with the finances, which is what he should be doing. He should let someone with a footballing mind take over the transfers and actual football stuff. So I like that. It's more professional. So we all I can say is that we've literally just got to trust him because he's meant to be a really good sporting director and like one of the best in the world. So I just got to trust him.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only things we saw about him was preferred formation seemed to be, I think, 4-2-3-1 or 3-4-2-1. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens if it goes through. But the other thing was you guys been linked with Marcus Thuram from Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, he's a good player. I mean, he's got a bit of an attitude problem because I remember he got suspended last season for spitting at someone, got a 5-game ban. I like Marcus Thuram. The thing is, though, I mean, he's probably like a Son. He's like an inside forward, but he can also play like the striker role, I guess. Gets a lot of goals, quite powerful, explosive. I do like him. It's like 30 million release clause, but because he's got 1 year left in his contract, I think we might be trying to get him for lower. But it's just the fact that, I mean, it'll be a good signing. It might be one of them signings where Levy's seen that it's just one of them opportunities he's got to take now with the like 1 year left and the release clause. But we need to see some defenders come in because although apparently we are having like a major sellout in our attacking area, like Lamela, Lucas Moura, possibly even Bergwijn leaving. So, I mean, I like him as a player. I'll happily have him as long as it doesn't disregard like where we actually really do need to invest a lot of money, which is the defence. If we still buy loads of like a good amount of defenders, then I'm happy as well for Thuram to come in because he's meant to be a good player.
Yeah, I think he's been called up to the French Euro side as well, so that's always a positive as well, getting that experience for him. Jack, I'll come to you. Obviously, last week during the international friendlies, Trent got injured. Very unfortunate for him, but Ben White has been the player to replace him. At first, there's a lot of, not negative reaction, but a lot of confusion. Ward-Prowse seemed to be the favourite for it, or Lingard. But now, with Maguire, the news that's come out of him, he's still not in proper training yet. Can you see, and obviously Ben White being able to play in the midfield, make a bit more sense to you?
It does, but the appointment of Ben, not appointment, but like the inclusion of Ben White just shows that he doesn't think Maguire's going to be fit.
Mm.
And yeah, it's all good to have him around the camp, but you might as well just exclude him from the camp, drop him, and just bring in Ward-Prowse, bring in Ben White as the Maguire replacement.
Mm.
Because even though then we still got 4 centre backs, he can play as a centre back, a defensive midfielder if he has to, and then bring Ward-Prowse in, because with them, I know he might not get on the pitch, but if he comes on, late second half, we're going to get loads of free kicks with the talented players we've got, There are lots of opportunities for set pieces, lots of corners, and he's got a great set piece delivery. So it was a bit, I understand why Ben White was included, but if he doesn't think Maguire's going to be fit, then I don't know why Maguire's going.
Yeah, it's a weird one because it doesn't look like he's very fit for the Croatia game. And I feel like if we do get far in the tournament and, say, I don't know, Mings, just hypothetically, that Mings has a good tournament or Stones has a great tournament, but say we get to semis and Maguire is now fit, I just don't think Southgate's the manager that would drop either of them for Maguire.
I mean, I think he would, because I think he really loves Maguire. That's why Maguire's still there.
Yeah.
I think if it was a different centre back, if it was I know he likes Conor Cody, but if it was a Conor Cody, I don't think he would take him. But I think Maguire he really likes, so that's why I think he's taking him. But like you said, if he was to come fit and we got to the semi-final and he was not really, he wouldn't even be really fully fit for that. But if he was fit, then he shouldn't play. But you never know, and then that could mess us up. And then, so I just think he should just get dropped altogether. I know, obviously, he's a leader. He's a big influence, I think, on a lot of the players. But when he's just not fit, you're just wasting a spot.
Yeah, I think it's fair enough. And the last sort of big news that really came out this week, Nuno Espirito Santo, obviously left Wolves a few weeks ago, has been heavily linked to the Palace job. Seems like it's almost gone through. Tom, do you think that's the right move for Palace?
Wait, did you say it got cancelled?
No, it's almost gone through.
I heard it got cancelled.
Oh, really?
Apparently it fell through,
a couple hours, for about 4 or 5 hours ago. I'm pretty sure it fell through.
Okay, well then, what do you think about that?
Well, it's a tricky one, to be honest, because I feel like that could be a good appointment for Palace. It'd be a positive for the Palace fans and the club. If it was to go through, you never know. It still might be. It might be a bad source. I can't remember who said it. It was just a bit of a surprise that he was linked with Palace. Like, I was expecting when he left Wolves, didn't he? He didn't get sacked. He left Wolves. I was expecting him. To be honest, I was expecting to maybe even go for the Everton job. To be honest, because that's now available. I didn't expect him to go for Crystal Palace just because I feel like, I don't know about the club size or the difference in club size, but and especially with the players they got now, it's a bit of a drop because I've always said as soon as Palace lose Zaha, they're in the relegation zone for me. They really struggle without him, and I was a bit surprised that he was in talks with him. But obviously, like I said, I think it is cancelled. We could maybe see him going to Everton. I don't know. I haven't heard anything on Everton managers who they're going to get. But I was a bit surprised when he was linked with the Palace job, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I just didn't see that news, to be fair. But I think the only other big thing was Villa I don't think it's official yet, but they've come very close to signing Emi Buendia.
Everything's basically done.
Yeah, that was disappointing from a North perspective because really wanting him there. 30 mil seemed like a pretty good buy, to be fair. Price. But Villa just got it done before us. I'm not sure what fell through for us, but I think it's a bit embarrassing on our part not to get that deal done before Aston Villa.
I saw something that apparently Villa accepted a 10% selling fee, a future sale, and you didn't want that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I think that's pretty much. I think you both bidded 33 million, and it got pushed up to like 40 in add-ons. but Villa accepted a 10% add-on fee if they were to sell Buendia in the future. So I think that's why you pulled out, or that's why you didn't get it done.
Yeah, well, I was going to talk about Holland and Chelsea because Ty's laughed at me. We're not going to do that. So instead, let's go to our Euro predictions.
Oh gosh.
All right. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Jack, we'll start off with you. We're not going to go through everything, but talk through the group stages first. Group A, Italy, Switzerland, Turkey, Wales. Wales fourth. Why not? Why do you think they're going to finish fourth, Jack?
To be honest, I actually meant for Wales to be third.
Okay.
But it just messed up. But I just think Italy, I think they're a dark horse this year. I think they've got a very good squad. A lot of them are quite old, but I still think they have a really good squad. So I do think they'll top it. And then Switzerland, they're always thereabouts, to be fair. I think they're not a bad team. So, and I just don't think Turkey or anything. So I'd put Turkey fourth and Wales third.
Fair enough. Then obviously, Group F is the big one. You've gone France, Portugal, and then Germany. You just think Germany's the weakest team out of them?
My guy put Scotland second.
Yeah, just wait, bro. You wait.
Okay.
Say that again, Joel. About Germany. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just think. Well, I thought. What's it called? Hansi Flick was managing them, but obviously, I think it's going to be after the tournament. So I don't think Germany haven't been good for a while. I know they brought back Hummels and Müller. They played quite well against Latvia 1-7-1, but I just think Portugal and France will just have too much of them.
Yes, fair enough. Well, the knockout stages is the main thing. So we'll come down to this now. England, Portugal. You have England beating Portugal.
You got to back your own team.
No, you don't. You got to be real.
Obviously, you've got England to the final, but
it's more of a hope. It's more of a hope.
So you hope they get to the final and lose?
No, I don't hope they lose.
Why didn't you back them in the final, chat?
Because I know that would just be too stupid. Because France just have a much better squad than us.
Portugal don't.
I don't think Portugal have that much. I would say we have a better squad than Portugal.
I wouldn't say France is that much better than us either. So, like, I think it's. I mean, yeah, they might have one, but the way you were saying it is like they're trample. I don't think it's necessarily like that. So I'm surprised. I mean, if you're being so patriotic throughout, you might have done it in the final.
No, because I just think France have. I just so sad they won the World Cup. I just think they're just a better team than us. That's why we might have, players better in some positions, but I just think as a team, they're just a better team than us. So that's why I couldn't put us as beating them in the final.
Fair enough. And then the other thing was obviously Netherlands. Van Dijk goes injured. Van der Beek, unfortunately, came out yesterday. He's out for the tournament as well. But we've got them reaching the semi-finals and then eventually losing to England. Why do you back them to go that far?
Well, I think their group's not great. I think they should top their group.
There you go.
Look, I think when we played Austria, they were good defensively, but they can't score. So I just think Netherlands should top their group, and they should. I think they should beat Switzerland, but other than that, I don't see them getting past us.
Really, I mean, Depay's on great form right now, especially in the friendlies as well. The defense is still decent, I'd say. De Vrij and De Ligt at the back, but I guess I can't see where you come from. But so then you got France winning it. Who do you say would be your top scorers and then player of the tournament?
Top scorer, I think I'm going to go Mbappe. And then player of the tournament, I'm going to go Benzema.
Okay. That's fair enough. It makes sense, but also doesn't make sense because...
Yeah, trust. If he's... I get what you're saying. I mean, he could do ridiculous stuff about scoring, I guess.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
I just think he'll get a lot of assists. I think he'll get a lot of assists.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, Benzema, I think he went off injured yesterday in the game against
Yeah, he
Bulgaria.
did.
That's if
I'll
he's
take
fit.
him out of my team. I ain't risking that.
I'm keeping him for now.
It doesn't look great.
We'll see what happens. But that's fair enough. I think you said your dark horses were Italy, right?
Yeah, but because
Well,
we're finished,
you know,
they didn't get.
Sorry, Joe.
I don't think they'll get past Belgium.
You know, when you meant dark horse, Joe, I thought you meant. Did you say dark horse, or did you say like underdog or something like that? I thought you meant like a team that ain't one of the big teams but could have a good tournament.
Yeah, well, either one works, to be fair, but
Okay.
we'll come to it when it's there. Next is my one here. Yeah, it's not too dissimilar from Jack's. Yeah, Italy, they're winning it. Wales, I actually put Wales fourth because I think they'll get smacked up by every team. Back Netherlands to do well. England, doing back Scotland to come second personally, but I do think they'll still get into the next round as a one of the third place qualifiers.
Croatia's teams ain't that good.
It's not, but neither are Scotland's, in my opinion.
Yeah, trust.
I think Scotland don't have that bad a team.
Really?
Tierney, they got McTominay, Chad Adams. I think they've got a decent squad.
Yeah.
I think
Croatia, I know they've got the experience, and Scotland don't. But I just think Croatia players are now getting on. I just don't think they have that good a squad anymore.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
No, Scotland ain't great. I'm not gonna lie, but
yeah, the only other thing I think is I don't think Spain will come top of their group. Partly because I think Poland and that Lewandowski factor will help them a lot. The other is obviously Spain. I think 2 days ago, maybe 3, they have had a bit of COVID outbreak in the squad. Well, Busquets has tested positive, so has Diego Llorente. Then a lot of their team just quarantining right now, training individually. So even if they are fit, I just don't think they'll gel well as a squad. And then I don't trust their attackers as well. Morata, whoever starts, Alcacer, I just don't trust them to finish it when it matters. So that's why I have them coming second in the group stages. Yeah, like Jack as well. I still see Germany going through. My dark horses or underdog, whichever you want to call it, are Ukraine. Like I think it's basically the same as Jack. I can't see them getting past Belgium, but I think they've got a decent side. They've got Yaremchuk, who's a good striker. I think he'll do well in the tournament. Yarmolenko, not the best player, but I still back him to do well, especially as a captain. I got England losing to Portugal. I can't lie. I don't see us beating them in any way. I think they'll have a field day against us, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, I still back France to win it because since Euro 2016, they've got the experience of losing a final and also winning a final as well, which I think is just too much for Portugal to handle now, even though they won it 4 years ago. So I just back France to win it. Yeah, dark horse Ukraine. I back, who is it? Ronaldo to be top scorer. When they get to the finals, you expect him to score most of the goals. Well, if they get to the final, should I say? You expect him to get most of the goals. I'm not sure who would take penalties, to be fair, him or Fernandes. That would be an interesting one. But yeah, you never know. He might feel nice for once. But and then, like Jack, I also think Benzema would be the player of the tournament because mostly out of hope, because I do hope he has a great tournament. But yeah, that's pretty much my ones. Next, we've got Tom's. Tom, let's get the group that matters. You have put Scotland in fourth. Why?
Yes. Yeah, they're just not a great team. They got some all right players. The thing is, the two best players are in the same position, so they have to put one out of position a bit. It's not the fact that I'm not saying they're like shocking. It's just that they're nowhere near us. They're nowhere near Croatia, and Czech Republic are not an easy team. They're quite a solid team to play against. And I mean, they might get third, but if Scotland got top 2, I would be absolutely shocked. I mean, to be honest, I just think they're there to fill up the numbers. I can't stand Scotland. I don't think they're that great. I can't remember the last time they've been in a big competition like this. And yeah, I mean, I think they're just happy to be a part of it because it's probably been a long time. But yeah, I can't see them getting top 2 at all, and we should top that anyway.
Yeah, I agree that we should top it. But the only thing I can see is I think Scotland might be playing a few games at Hampden Park. I'm not too sure. But obviously, against England, they're playing at Wembley. But I just feel like they'll be up for that game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I think it'll be closer than most people expect. A bit like the England Wales
That's a
game.
derby.
Yeah, so I expect that to be close. Then the other thing I want to look at is Belgium. So you put them top in their table, their group. Sorry, got them as semi-finals. So do you think that sort of aging squad won't affect them too much?
Well, it's really only just at the back. I think they're all right. I mean, Toby. I mean, they got Denea and then Vertonghen. So yeah, it is a bit aging, but I mean, with the 5 at the back, they can sort of go in their favour a bit because there's a bit more behind them. I don't know. I think they're a really strong team going forward, especially if De Bruyne is fit. I mean, I'm not even thinking about Hazard when I think about this Belgian team. And if it's a fit, informed Hazard playing, then that's even better. I really like Lukaku when it comes to Belgium or any club when he's at club level as well. But especially when he plays Belgium, I think he turns up. I just think they're strong contenders for this. I just don't think they'll reach the final because they're most likely to come up against France, and I think France will beat them again. I do think they'll beat Italy, even though I do like Italy in this tournament because I believe they haven't conceded at all. There was a stat, I can't remember the stat, but it's like a really good clean sheet stat they've had recently. I think they're kind of underdogs for the big teams, but I like Belgium in this group as long as we do see a fit De Bruyne especially, and maybe even Hazard.
Yeah, I think you raised a good point about Lukaku. I think I was talking to someone earlier. I think a lot of people are still sleeping on him a bit because he's just on Serie A. I think he's close to getting top scorer in that as well. I mean, he's just going to be hungry, I think, for Belgium. And if there is a fully fit De Bruyne sort of helping him out with that, then I would like you. I back them to get to semi-finals, but I'm not sure if they beat France. But then, unlike Jack, you have got England losing against Portugal.
Yeah.
Talk us through that one. Is it just
it's close.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, it is close. We can beat them, obviously. It's just, there's just something in me that just we'll do well to smash the group stage. We'll get first, but then we don't really get rewarded from it because I feel like we're going to get Portugal, who I would say is like the second favourites for this tournament, to be honest. Behind France, and I don't know. I feel like when it really matters, they've got more. I feel like they step up. They will step up more. We have got a young squad. We are without Maguire, and I just, as much as I back the manager and I'm behind him, I haven't got a lot of trust in him. I'm not going to lie. I don't even know what formation we're going to play yet. Yeah, it's just about not having the most amount of confidence in the manager. And to be honest, this is a New England team. We don't know how it's going to really play. It is fairly new. There's a lot of new additions, young talent, which I am excited for. But we've got to remember that Portugal squad's been with each other for a while. They've added a couple of new additions, like their 18-year-old left back, who's meant to be absolutely amazing, that Nuno Mendes. Ronaldo. I even like Diogo Jota in this tournament, to be honest. I think he'll start, and I quite like him. I think he's been on form when he's fit this year. I just think they're more likely to turn up than us. That's the only thing about that.
The one other thing I spotted is you have Netherlands top in the group, Germany finishing third, but you're still about Germany to beat them. Why is that?
Because Germany got a tough group. Netherlands, they're a good side. It's just the fact that Van Dijk's not going to be there, man. They are missing Van der Beek as well. They're playing 2 up front, I believe, and they brought in Workhorst. Germany, that's a tough one, to be fair, because I'm not so thing about Germany either, but then they always do have a quite a strong squad, Germany, and I feel like they really need to perform in this tournament. They got no choice; they have to perform. I know the manager's already going, so there's not really pressure on him. But as a nation, I feel like they need a big tournament. They need to at least get to the quarters, especially with their route. I know they got a tough group. That's the problem. But they can get through on the third, which I've put it. But if they do get through somehow and they face Netherlands, I would back them. But that was a tough one. I'm not gonna lie.
Then who do you back to be top scorer and player of the tournament?
So player of the tournament, I'm going to go with I might just go with Mbappe. It's like the most safest option to go with. I mean, he turns up a lot in these tournaments, does some nice stuff. For goal scorer, I really wanted to say Lukaku, even though he don't get to the final. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go Lukaku. I feel like he's going to have a good tournament. I just see Belgium being a big force in this tournament and him being the front runner. I think Lukaku will be top goal scorer.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And then I believe this one should be ties. Well, we'll go to the, I think Group A is similar. I think Group B and C have been the same for most people. But Group D, you have English finishing second. Why is that?
He wants us to avoid Portugal. I like that.
That was one of the main reasons. Another reason is just Southgate, man. I just can't back him. I don't know, man. It's just like I feel like if like we've said, we don't know what like kind of formation we're gonna play. We don't know how the team's actually gonna play. He's probably gonna start Sterling when he doesn't really deserve it, when other players deserve to start in his position. And I feel like Croatia, they'll probably just beat us, to be honest. But yeah, and obviously second place is obviously better than finishing first because we're not going to beat whoever wins France's group. So, but yeah, that's the main reason.
And the other one is, Spain finishing third below Poland and Sweden. Yeah. What is it about them that you should back them?
Yeah, there's that. And there's also obviously the whole COVID outbreak that happened. Obviously, Busquets, he is an important player for them. And obviously no Sergio Ramos. Like, I feel like that is a big thing. Obviously,
that's a good point.
Like, I'm pretty sure Laporte get picked.
Yeah.
Like picking him, then kind of expecting him to come in and be the main man straight away. It's kind of like when they got Costa for the 2014 World Cup, and obviously he was awful. Like, he just wasn't used to playing for Spain yet and all that, and then so I just feel like no, Ramos is just going to be key, and obviously the whole COVID outbreak as well. I think they'll finish third.
Yeah, I think that's a fair enough point. Then we'll come to the main thing here. We've got France winning it, like the rest of us. Trying to find England. So this is my point. If we do finish second, I don't think it's actually any easier. The round of 16 will be easier, but then you start to face, France there, and then potentially Belgium and Italy. So I'm not sure it's actually easier route, but
it's
fair enough.
Easier first game.
Yeah. But fair enough. I think France beating us is fairly likely, but you got Italy beating Belgium here. Talk us through that
one. Mainly just because Italy, they are my dark horses, similar to Jack. But obviously they have built a pretty strong team now with especially their midfield. Players like Verratti, Locatelli, players like that. Obviously, I'm pretty sure Mancini's the manager as well. Good manager. So yeah, obviously I do rate Belgium. That game could go either way, really. But yeah, just Italy are my dog horses, so that's just why I picked them, really, to be fair.
Fair enough. And then you got here again, Germany beating Netherlands, like Tom, Portugal beating them. Portugal, France. Tyler, what do you think Portugal, obviously we all have France back, we're all backing France, but what do you think Portugal have to do to sort of beat France either in the group stage or in the final?
just try and stop Mbappe really. But then easier said than done. If you stop him, then Benzema and Griezmann can deal with them. But obviously that's just Mbappe is just so hard to stop. I mean, just the pace, like he's got it. He's got it all. Like
if you name Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, it's a shame he's not in the squad. But
yeah.
but yeah. But yeah, just got to try and stop Mbappe and obviously just give Ronaldo the service because obviously he's just going to finish any chance he gets. Like, but obviously it's so hard to stop Mbappe. But even if you stop Mbappe,
Got Kante waiting for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Kante's a problem.
Ballon d'Or winner if they win the Euros, man. But yeah. So yeah, if you stop Mbappe, you got Pogba, Benzema, and Giroud. Obviously, he's chasing that record, so I feel like he's going to be hungry because this is probably his last tournament. So yeah, I just feel like France are just so strong, man.
Yes, fair enough. And then you obviously told me Mbappe is going to be top scorer. Then Predator told me said Mbappe or Pogba. You know,
yeah,
Pogba, we saw how good he is the last two sort of major tournaments, but you know, why do you think he will be one of the best in this one?
Well, it is. I hate it because he's facing Man United, isn't it? But I love Pogba, man. I love the way he plays. Like he can just do it all, and especially playing next to Kante. Obviously, it allows him to do more when going forward, which I think has been one of the main problems at United is that they haven't really had a DM, so he hasn't really been able to be as free as he could have. But yeah, I feel like if France win, then obviously Pogba's going to be key to it, just like he was at the World Cup. So
yeah, I agree with you there. But I think starts in 2 days, maybe 1 day, because this will come out on the Thursday. I think we're all a bit excited. Italy, Turkey is the first game on Friday, so it should all be good. I think weather's getting good here as well. Everything's improving, so hopefully have a great tournament. And this time next week we'll have the first couple of games, maybe the first match day done. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me. That's been our predictions, and have a nice.
I think it's time to talk. I think it's time we sit down and just say what's going on. I think we should